Hello, my name is Malikar. Nice to meet you. And welcome back to Drive Call Steel 3. I was like, okay, I'm good. We got some episode done, but then I'm like, I need to train. So maybe after this, I can train. So I suppose here we're gonna find Angelica and Toba. I didn't know that happened. Yeah, you and George really saved my bacon that time. Seems like things are going well, and no wonder they haven't seen each other for a year and a half. Is that Rena I sense looking out there? Oh, why don't you come in, silly? Looks like I underestimate you. Angelica, that's my thing. It seems like you've really been sharpening your martial arts skills, huh, Angelica? Yeah, I wanna visit a bunch of different schools that have connection of data. I think I have pretty much packed my head full of kung fu by now. No wonder, your movements are so sharp now. You were able to meet with your master again, right? The one who first taught you Taito. Yeah, she's from Calvar, so it's pretty I know, Kirika. I suppose it's she. But I was able to talk with her about quite a few things while I was there, so it was a good trip. Well, I don't really understand anything about martial art, but were you able to finish your cross-continental motorcycle trip? Nah, haven't been able to hit everywhere just yet. I went around Libya. Then from there I was able to make it to the central eastern part of the continent. But Eastern Zemuria kind of thought not to crack. Eastern Zemuria, I've only heard stories. It seems like the desertification has got worse, there is less and less land where people lived. That's why there's been such an influx of immigration moving into Calvert. Actually, Master Kafai, my teacher, is there right now. Oh, is that so? Just what I expected from the founder of the 8 Leaves One Blade School. I asked the local guild branch out there, and they say it'd take me half a year to get to the east by land. I was worried about what was going on at home here too, so unfortunately I had to give up on heading that way. Master Kafai said something like that in a letter he sent me. The dragon's veins are nearly depleted. Those were the words he used. It seems like they have a lot to deal with over there too. If the Empire wasn't in such a state, I would have loved to go there and help too. I was actually talking about this with George. If it's even possible to use our technology to support Eastern Zemuria and stop the desertification there. Once things are finally settled and done here in the Empire, it may be something for us and all you guys from Class 7 to look into. Are you telling me something that will happen in the future? Oh, Angie. I accept. You truly are something, Angie. But you're right, we gotta help from a lot of people from other countries. Someday we have to make sure we are not just contributing to the Empire, but the entire continent of Zemuria. Now you're getting into you got a big dream. Right, there's something here.
Why are you...
Something like that.
Is there someone outside? This voice doesn't sound like students. This is spy. It seems like there's someone there. Should I check? Of course. We are. When you saw like I will enter.
You have the Chancellor's protection. Your actions are only going to come to bite you.
Wait. Oh my god, wait, the cable isn't working. Okay, give me 1 second. All the time. Yeah.
You don't understand, Michael. Show
Who's
yourself.
That was careless of me. Forgive me, I didn't mean to overhear. Rin. Schweizer, I don't appreciate your eavesdropping. I've said my piece, but I advise you really think this over. Unless you want what happened 10 years ago to shackle you forever. I'm really sorry I just came out for some air. Well, I got an early morning tomorrow, so I should probably... Rin. Can we talk? Just for a little while. I want to continue our previous okay. We may as well do so in the light of the moon. Okay, I got Alicia, but tell me. Of course, you can tell me anything.
Michael Major Irving is my cousin.
Ooh! For a moment I thought his brother, but then I was like, she got a sister, not a brother.
He was born Michael Revelt.
I see now. You two do seem rather close.
We were, once. But 10 years ago, he took his mother's surname.
Sorry, now is the part when you're like, Green, why you don't talk, Green, Falcon, why you didn't hire somebody, at least in this scene that there are a lot of people that can imitate somebody else's voices. Do that, at least. Main voice of Green, why? Why'd you do this to me?
And abandoned the name Revelt. It was after I had the man who took my family away executed. That man was my uncle. His father.
Wait. I had the man who took my family away executed. That man was his uncle. My uncle. His father. His father executed her family. Wait, what? What happened?
Perhaps you're familiar with the Revelt Company? They're known for making musical instruments. Well, they were originally located in St. Arc. My father was the president, and my uncle the vice president. The company was doing well, but more importantly, our family was happy. Until an horrible car accident. There weren't many of them on the roads back then. A stolen truck crashed into us. Then its driver disappeared into the night. In the end, they never found him. It became a cold case. My parents and my little brother died in that accident.
Oh, wait. He did. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm photos. Okay.
But by some miracle, I survived, and my uncle's family took me in. After my father's death, my uncle took control of the company. Though I was grateful to him for taking me in, I couldn't help but ask myself, why was I the only one to survive? Soon after that, while looking through my father's things, I found the account books. Flipping through them, I noticed something strange. The Revelt Company prided itself on offering high-quality, carefully crafted instruments at an affordable price. But certain entries showed unbelievable spikes in profits. I had a feeling something was wrong, so I looked a little deeper. Each account book I read put things in starker relief. At last, I realized what my uncle had been doing right under my father's nose. He was making a fortune selling cheap, mass-produced instruments from abroad under the Revelt Company name. He even had the gall to commission a product he could sell as Maestro class to scam people out of even more money.
Oh,
I knew Father must have noticed his brother's wrongdoing and planned to question him. But before he could, the accident took his life. When I confronted my uncle about this, he was surprisingly candid. "You've got no proof, and if you did have any, I've got several powerful nobles ready to back me up should it come to that.
what?
Even if you talk, the most suspicious part of that accident is that you're the lone survivor. Good luck getting anyone to listen to you." I was angry, yes. But more than that, I was heartbroken. I didn't know what to do with myself. Until he showed up.
I was a friend of your father's in military school. I thought the accident seemed peculiar. Do forgive me for allowing you to suffer for so long on your own.
Somehow, he knew the truth behind the accident. But the fact that I knew took him aback for a moment. Until he said,
You have a gift. Enhanced cognition.
What?
It allows you to grasp every detail, great or small, of any given situation in an instant. It must have awakened during the accident. I was going to mete out the murderer's punishment myself, but I've changed my mind. You have the means and the ability. Why not use them to avenge your family?
I was petrified when I heard this, lost. All I could see were the smiling faces of my parents and my beloved little brother. That's when I decided to take His Excellency's advice. I gathered every last scrap of evidence I could find against my uncle. I laid everything bare, the plot, the motive, the cover-up, the perpetrator. I had too much evidence to be silenced. I made my voice louder and louder until it reached Marquis Higharm's ears. Soon after, the nobles protecting my uncle stepped aside. My uncle's judgment was swift, harsh, and fair. He was put to death for his actions. I had my revenge. But it came at a price. I lost my family and my hometown. As soon as the company was in my control, I gave the rights to a longtime employee. All so I could enroll in the military academy suggested by His Excellency. All so I could enroll in Thor's.
Claire. I finally understand both why you hold Chancellor Osborne in such high regard. Wait. Why once in a while I see sadness in your eyes. And it seems to me like Major Michael is worried about you. His tone may have been harsh, but it came from a place of concern.
You're right. It was sheer coincidence that we both joined the RMP. But he's always looked out for me, both as a superior officer and as a colleague. Not that I've ever felt like I deserved it. I gave in to my desire for vengeance and mercilessly sent my own uncle to his death. 10 years ago, my aunt and my cousins cursed my name as I robbed them of the man they loved. I imagine they must still hate me for what I did.
I don't think so. Not exactly. At the very least, it's clear that Mayor Michael really cares about you. Everyone who knows you well, even Instructor Sara, who isn't your biggest fan, respect you too much to hate you. Million, Mayor Lecter, Elise, and Princess Alphine. Yuna, the original Class 7, and me, of course, we all hold you in the highest regard.
Rain. Oh, you really are too kind. To be perfectly honest, you remind me of my brother.
What was his name?
Emile. His name was Emile. If he were alive, I think he'd be about your age.
Wow, now it all makes sense.
Thank you for hearing me out. But I think tonight is the last time I'll compare you to my brother.
That's why, I mean, see, I didn't, okay, first I won't say like, oh, nothing like that. But all this time she was like this with Rin because that, I understand. Of course, all the time I was like, do you have a crush on Rin or something? No, it's because all this time Rin was reminding her of her brother.
It's disrespectful, both to him and to the man you've become. Good night, Rain. Sweet dreams.
Am I dreaming? I'm seeing things. Must have been a mirage, a trick of the moonlight. Okay, Rin, don't crush on her. She just said that you remind her of her bro. Why cannot go inside? I just can go inside from one door. Which door? This door. Nope. Oh. And she got the special abilities. Everybody with the special abilities, like, I just got one place that they could have get it, and it's connected to Crossbell, but maybe I'm totally wrong. You guys don't tell me. What's the matter? Can't sleep? Well, not exactly. It's just that there is so much going on. I need to sort all my thoughts. And I know how that is. Hey Rin, what's about you have a little drink with me before bed? Huh? Sometimes a little room to breathe is all you need to sort yourself out. Here, I'll pour you a bit. This stuff will really kick you in teeth. So you should probably just dip your tongue in it to start out. You were kidding.
It's spiritus, liquor from Northumbria. Said to be the strongest drink in the world. Guess it's kinda hard to get much stronger than 96% though, huh?
If I take a normal sip of this, I already be on the floor. But the stinging on my tongue is turning a little sweet.
Right? I knew you'd be able to appreciate it. Never thought the day'd come when I'd get to talk with you over drinks like this. That new Class 7 of yours? They're a good bunch of kids.
Yeah, they still got a long ways to go though. I'm struggling as instructor too. I just wish I could guide them a little better.
They're all pretty unique kids, just like you guys were. But I know things will work out for you. I mean, come on. They were all so worried about you, they ran headlong after you.
I'm sure they had a bit of a push for a certain someone though.
You already knew, didn't you? Who those purple Jaegers are.
Yes. Of course. The attack they were doing on me on the first battle, it says north. Yes, what they say brought back some complicated feelings. At first I wasn't sure, but when I saw your reaction, I knew.
That's so. Guess I've still got a ways to go myself in that case.
Back then, during the Northern War, I couldn't do anything. I spent all my time getting rid of all the archaism that were let loose on the city. All the higher-ups in the Northern Jaegers, the ones who work with Ouroboros, got away. If I captured them, Northumbria government would have called for ceasefire. I could have stopped the annexation.
That's a nice little scenario, Reen. But you know it's a load of bull, don't you? The annexation of Northumbria was done under the Imperial government's orders. Way I hear it, General Le Guin agreed to take the place over to keep the provincial armies from being disbanded. The outcome was decided from the start.
That's...
In the middle of that farce of a war, you managed to save the lives of tens of thousands of citizens. And the Jaegers you met today? I think they know that. But maybe it was impossible from the start. Fixing a country already being destroyed from within by Jaegers. You probably knew that too.
Who?
Whoopsie. Well, you see, he was... He was my first love.
Oh. Oh, whoa. Really?
Well, actually, he was the closest thing I had to a dad. Way back during the Northumbrian disaster, when the salt pail covered so much of the Principality in a storm of salt, a man took in an orphaned infant.
Oh, come on, don't throw me out of things.
He was a former colonel in the army, and one of the people who founded the Northern Jaegers.
By the way, I'm looking at her, not the letter, so whatever she say, is when she say it.
As soon as I was old enough to understand anything, I knew that Jaegers who came back with foreign currency were considered heroes. The man who raised me was one of the leaders of the Northern Jaegers, the heroes of our homeland. I looked up to my dad more than anyone. Wanting to be just like him, I joined a juvenile Jaeger corps at the age of 10. After a few years of harsh training, I was admitted to the main corps at the tender age of 13. It was there that I experienced my first real battle. It was hell. A field of death, where lives are tossed aside to satisfy someone else's desires. There I lived, smoke and blood painted across my body. And there I stayed, eventually becoming the Jaeger known as the Purple Lightning.
Oh.
But after a while, it reached a point where I couldn't take it anymore. When I was 18, I was assigned command of a squad. We had a mission near Erebonia, fighting some proxy war on behalf of the nobles. The enemy was Needhog. My squad was destroying them, but just when we thought victory was ours. Our efforts to avoid dragging any civilians into the fight left us open to a counterattack. We got hit hard. And then my dad showed up and saved me. Even though he was serving as the commander for the entire corps, he came to our rescue and suffered a fatal injury for it.
Do you see now? This is the fate of all Jaegers. You must think long and hard on whether you wish to continue down this path.
It could have been because he was once part of the Principality's army, but he was quite the gentleman. Now that I think back, he never seemed to like the fact that I became a Jaeger. Anyway, he left me with those final words and passed away in my arms. I screamed and screamed until my voice gave out, until I passed out from utter exhaustion. When I woke up, I was in an Imperial Army camp.
Was that when Instructor Beatrix treated you?
Yeah. Apparently they were there to check on the damage caused by all the Jaegers fighting. Neidhart and Mueller-Vander, who were both second lieutenants back then, were there too. They told me the battle had been over for a while, and all my comrades had already packed up and left for home. Hadn't even thanked them before rushing back to my hometown. And what greeted me when I got there were celebrations and congratulations from my friends and the townsfolk. We had lost my father, but we won the war we were hired for. The nobles had given us an enormous pile of mira. That meant we wouldn't die of starvation during the coming winter. I was relieved, but my tears just wouldn't stop. In order to save my hometown from poverty, I covered myself in the smoke of war and the blood of innocents in foreign lands. Seeing the smiles on the faces of everyone in town and knowing the cost cut me deep. It was right then that I decided to quit being a Jaeger and leave my hometown. I joined up with the Bracer Guild, knowing I could put my combat skills to work and make some decent mira if I hit A rank. That way I could send some money back home. Money that wasn't stained with blood.
I finally understand the true origin of your strength and kindness.
I'm not strong or kind, but I think I've finally started to get closer. Little by little. Closer to being like the man I admired so much. My dad. My commander. And my first love.
Sara. But it makes sense now. No wonder you fall for all the silver foxes.
Yeah? No getting around the fact that I've got myself the daddy of all father complexes. But you know, lately I found myself attracted to some younger guys.
Huh? Huh? Okay, now he's like...
You got me talking too much. You don't watch yourself, you could make a real dangerous womanizer. Oh, and I'll have you know, I don't really appreciate being second after Little Miss Major. Well, with that, I bid you good night and sweet dreams.
Well, very... What a day. It's not surprising that my eyes are wide awake, but for some reason my heart feels lighter now. I think I'll be able to sleep well tonight. I better head back to my room. I'm gonna Google how to become Rin. I need whatever he has. I don't know how to get it. God damn it, Rin. You are a lucky bastard. Lucky bastard. There's nothing else? I need to check. You never know. Valley? Oh, Valley. Rin, can't get to sleep? Oh, nah, I just couldn't resist the sign of that gorgeous moon for the calming sound of the waves.
That thing I showed you is called Zector. Sorry, that's the most I'm gonna say on that one.
Hey Valimar, does that name Zector ring any bells? I feel as though I faintly remember that name. Ah yes, though only a small fragment, I remember something. 2 years ago, during the War of the Lions, Zector was the name of the Divine Knight under 6th Prince's command. Just as I thought. Lucius Reis Arnor, he was the pilot of the Palatine Knight. No, he don't not pilot the Knight, he actually Awakener was the leader of a mercenary group hired by the Prince. He was a crafty individual, but he lent the Prince his power. I see, so there is even a parallel between him and the Jaeger King. It wasn't the Palatine Knight destroyed by the Vermilion Apocalypse. Correct. As such, it's difficult to say whether the one you saw was the same one or not, but so long as the Black Workshop and the genomes are involved, we can't rule anything out just yet. Yeah. I wish at least knew whether they are friends or foes. Just because they are working against our wars doesn't necessarily mean they are on our side. We'll simply need to pay close attention to their action. If you come across any new facts, be sure to let me know. I may recall more information. Can do, thanks. There is nobody else, right? Ooh. Okay, to be sincere, okay, I think Sara said that as a joke, and we know that, and we know that, oh wait, maybe it's because it's my room, and we know that Claire did that because of, how you say it? Because reminds her of his brother. Wait, I'm lost. Wait, this way. Oh my god. Yeah, so not like I'm like, oh Alicia, he got no. I should head back and get some rest.
This is truly an honor.
Thank you.
Here, a reward. Keep it up.
Monk, thank you, gift arrived. Okay guys, we're gonna let it till here. I was like, I'm gonna continue because I want to train, but that's not a possibility right now. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. If you guys want. Like I already said what I thought, like, those kisses weren't like of love. As I say, Claire kiss was more like, you remind me of my brother. And Sara kiss was more like heartfelt. Thank you to Lisa. You are growing, and make sure you acknowledge your growth in your appearance, right? But I didn't show them those kisses as, oh my god, I'm in love with you or anything like that, you know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one if you guys want. I don't know.
Lose myself in this city now.